The following podcast may be explicit. One Joe Young presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. Join us once again in the shed as Mickie, JJ, Kurt, Chris, and Joe begin our last episode for 2017. The party has defeated Gaedren Lamm and are investigating the loot they discovered at the Old Fishery. Now to see what Korvosa is up to. Enjoy the podcast.
Hi, and welcome back to The Shed for Adventures from the Shed. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com, on iTunes and Facebook and elsewhere on the interwebs net stuff, including Yoo-Hoo, if I remember right. Yoo-Hoo! We are continuing our Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign. We're going to go around the table quickly and say hi. We will start with...
Hey, everyone. This is Mickie. I'm playing Veritana.
JJ here. I'll be playing Ashley Morgan.
This is Chris. I'm playing the Bard. Call me Greg. No,
Chris,
call
put
me
that
Gary.
mic a little closer, please.
I like the fact that Tana sang, so I will say,
This
is Kurt. I am playing Crispin, the crazy stout halfling barbarian.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
The bard should be the one singing, but I'll just take that role on today.
Okay. I'm Dungeon Master Joe. And I am Joe. I'll be the Dungeon Master as we continue this campaign. We are playing The Curse of the Crimson Throne, which is a Pathfinder adventure path. I think, Chris, you were nominated to do us a quick recap of what we did last episode. Yeah, quick one.
Yep.
Go for it.
Our adventures started off kind of. We were on
Pirate
in a
adventure.
fishery next to a dilapidated
Pirate
boat. I was ready to run through Gaedren Lamm because I'd killed one of my lovers. But Ashley,
One of them.
Damn, we got a whole Don Juan
I got
DeMarco
a
going on.
harem over there.
Jeez.
But Ashley kind of got in the way because the rest of the group wanted to interrogate the guy. But I don't think we got any important information. I was kind of like, hey, are you up to any other business? And he was kind of like, well, this is all I got going on. Mm-hmm. Then we ransacked his place, looted his body, found the head of Zalara, and some interesting items. We had a skeleton, keyhole dagger thing that was
A dagger
connected
that
to
was
some murders
vaguely
back in the day.
Yep.
And we found a ring with probably one of my exes, and found the deck, the Harrow card deck that was Zalara's also, which made it interesting because we thought she was, in the here and here, and she's out
Her
there
head
someplace.
and
Yeah,
her cards.
she was out of bounds already. And then we moved on to, we left the place when I decided to burn it down because I can't stand Gaedren Lamm.
Yeah.
And then, which worked out because the rest of the town was on fire, the riots were going on, and people were screaming that the king was dead, long live the queen.
So I think, actually, I'd interrupt for a moment. You put him underwater, then burned his place down.
Yeah, because I figured it's going
Why
to...
not burn him with it?
Nah, because he's already dead. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
But the place is going to topple down upon...
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
That makes more sense in my brain now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've worked it out.
We're also waiting to see if the bard is, in fact, as much of a psychopath as he appears to be early on.
We'll find
or whether it was just Gaedren Lamm.
I think it's the revenge factor.
Yeah. Maybe
You
I'm
don't
the keyhole.
kill one of his lovers and get away with it.
Yeah, right?
Apparently.
I mean, he worked hard for that. I mean,
Yeah. It was Emma, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
And he reclaimed that ring.
That's true. Silver ring.
Cool.
So
in addition to that,
Yeah, we moved
when
up.
we got back to Zalara's.
Well, before we got back to the
Okay, go
Zalaras...
ahead. Oh, yeah.
We had a nobleman that was getting harassed by a mob of river rats, as I called them. Mm-hmm. And we dispatched them easily and tried to go to the guy's house, but his dad wouldn't have any of it. So we moved along, ran into a mad prophet guy that was going to harass us, but we just kind of knocked him out.
what was the god's name?
Rhodus.
Grotus,
Or Grodius.
which is the end times god.
Is
And then
is
we-
his holy symbol a scrotum?
It's
The
funny,
Grotum
yeah.
Scrotum.
Scrotus.
Scrotus.
South
He's a little wrinkly.
South Carolina Republican of the United States. Scrotus.
And when it's cold, he looks like a walnut.
Fair enough.
Shrinkage.
Then we went to Zalara's place, which looked like it had been abandoned for weeks and has been ransacked and gone through, except for the footprints of us a day before.
Yeah.
Was the only thing it was to do. And then whenever, I guess we pulled out the cards and she appeared out of the card deck.
She appeared on her own.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as part of that, too, Tana had finished deciphering the ledger, handed it off to a guard out on the street, told him how to, what the cipher was, so that they could figure it out.
And the
then
ledger
you-
absolved her family
Yeah.
Yeah.
In addition to dozens of other minor and some major crimes that could now be, the books can be closed on them because all of the evidence that was
that is
needed
quite
there.
auspicious for the new Queen's reign. I mean, being able to close a whole bunch of that's a victory for her.
It is.
I mean, she owes us.
Yeah, we should be on retainer.
It's very possible. She owes you something, and you have something of hers.
Yeah, that was one thing we forgot to mention. That,
Yeah.
we found a brooch that was put partially broken. Or
It was on a broken necklace.
Oh,
right. So it's just the big brooch. I don't know how large it is, but it looks big as
It
far as the
sounds
pictures
like it's
go.
big. I mean,
Yeah.
if the
It's bigger than the
dragon
halfling
has
is what we're saying.
amethyst
Yeah.
eyes and
Yeah.
and then the
And
the
there's
imps
a-
have
there is
garnet
a
eyes or something like that.
picture. There's a picture of it that I'll
But is it to
share
scale?
with you. But it could be.
so was
Like,
the guy.
is there a banana next to it so we have
That's
a
the
scale?
picture.
Yeah, that's
there.
right. Okay.
Yeah. So it is. It looks big enough that it would be several inches
I
wide,
would get a
not
plantain for scale.
just. Yeah, need something in the foreground for scale. All right, and what I want to do before you guys leave the house again, Zalara is going to appear, and we are going to do a harrowing, which we are going to use the actual harrow deck that I got from Paizo. And this, the way this works is it's a fortune reading. And we're going to start with the suit, which is keys, the suit that matches the part of the adventure we're in. The part of the adventure, the chapter we are in, is called Edge of Anarchy. And the suit for that is keys, like I mentioned. What I have here are the 9 cards. And the way this will work in the adventures, wherever you are at the time, looked like I was going to drop it. Yeah, you caught it. Wherever you are at the time, we'll just have Zalara pop out with the deck, and she does a harrowing for you. So the way this works,
Yeah. I was
hello.
trying to take a
That's
dump.
nothing.
She popped out. Of the
Yeah, before you leave, let me give you your. Let me see what holds, what the future and the present and the past holds for you as you head out on your adventure. So I have the 9 cards here. You guys are each going to pick one of the 9 cards, and you will need to make note of what you pick because I get them back after that. And I think, Mickie, you have the rest of them.
I do.
All right. So we're going to put them all together and shuffle them after we get those 4 back. So each of you, tell me what you got. We'll start with you, Kurt. You're on my right. We'll start on my right this time.
Mine is the dungeon. Actually, it's not. That's a joke. It's the avalanche.
I was going to tell you it can't be because that's not one of the 9.
The avalanche.
Okay.
The German dungeon.
So, Kurt, just make a note, if you would, that anytime we're wandering around the city streets, that pertains to you. Okay. So if we get back out in the city streets and you're fighting something in the streets, that's going to matter. It's all the city.
Just in the city?
It's the city and turmoil events
Okay.
will matter for you. Chris, which one did you get?
The peacock.
The peacock.
I want to
I
see
wanna
your
see
peacock.
your peacock.
Peacock.
Your peacock.
How much money you got?
Or Chris, if you wouldn't mind, just write page 47, because that's going to be my reference. I can't tell you what it means yet.
It's the old man from scene 29.
How does he know when to tell you?
Kurt's was generic.
How does he know when?
When I ask,
Oh, when you get to page
when we're at page 47, and I said who had this, it'll matter. Okay. JJ, what did you have?
The Rabbit Prince.
The Rabbit Prince.
Rabid or rabbit?
Rabbit.
Nice. And raspberry rabbit.
Like a raspberry
JJ,
rabbit.
note page 53, 5-3.
Prince as in courtly stuff.
I'm writing
not-
this stuff down too.
And I'm just gonna that's Mickey's
The prince
bed
who is
name for
foaming
me,
at his
the
mouth.
Rabbit Prince.
You
just saying. I'm
wish.
just,
Mickey, what did you get?
I hope you dance.
The dance. Please note page 57, 5-7. All right.
What is it
now
called?
we
The dance?
Correct.
Yes. Now let's put those cards back in the deck and shuffle it up. Who wants to shuffle those? Who's good?
So
at
all
mixing
she
them
did
up
was
good?
pull them. She didn't tell us anything.
No, that's what happened. So you pick those, and each one of them that's your chosen card. Now the reading happens.
Gotcha.
So we start with what's called the spread, which is after these are shuffled in.
Right, the 9.
We will take 9 cards and put them 3 by 3.
I want to see
Whenever
your
you're ready,
peacock.
Mickey, just go ahead and set them
your
out.
Peacock. Your peacock. Now I'm going to have Katy Perry in my head for the next
Nice.
hour.
I want to see your peacock. Peacock. I didn't
No,
shuffle
no,
up.
face down first.
Oh.
Sorry.
Shuffle.
Face
shuffle
down.
more. Okay.
The way it's supposed to work is you put them face down, and as you flip them over, you talk about what each one is.
Okay.
Not that it really matters ahead of time, but once you learn what the cards are and what they might mean, it may matter because then you can see the future before you've looked at the past kind of thing, if it's face up. But we will
cannot
find
see the
out
future
shortly.
before
So
you-
now each person gets 1 hero point. Make sure you make a note of that. You already get 1. All
So
right.
far,
Harold.
And now,
What can it
as
be
in
used for?
Miami. Oh, thank you.
Harrow. Yes.
What's it used for?
These will matter during this part of the adventure, and I'll tell you when we have all the points.
Gotcha.
Okay, because that's the first part. During the choosing, everyone gets a point.
All right.
Okay.
So we have the cards face down.
we start with the left column. This is the past. This
All right.
column also represents law, for the past is unchangeable and set in stone.
So the left column, start with the
So-
top.
Yep, reveal the 3 cards starting from the top, and we interpret their meanings, and I have those meanings here. So tell me what the first card is.
The first card is the crows.
The crows. All right. So, la 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 la. I want to read some of this before I say it out loud. All right. So the crows. The meaning of the crows is the taking of loved ones or items. So in the past, Chris's character Greg had a loved one and items taken from him. That symbolizes him. And that is a key, correct?
It is.
So that is another hero point added for each person.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Racking up the points.
So any keys that come up during the reading here will
Okay.
represent another hero point. And if anybody's individual card comes up, that person gets a hero point as well.
The
What is
next
card?
was be the foreign traitor.
I'm glad these
Traitor.
are alphabetical here. Da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, trader.
Trader, not
As
creature.
in, merchant stuff.
Like Trader Joe's.
As in,
Not like Benedict Arnold.
The,
that guy was a badass, by the way.
He was a badass.
So this is wow. This represents a pact. In the past, Crispin and his friend Talon had a pact to always look out for each other,
Aw.
and he has come back to he had come back to free Talon. Next,
Next is the dance.
hey,
Mickey gets everyone gets a hero point.
yeah. Everyone
again?
gets one,
And she
and
gets
then
another.
Mickey gets 2.
specifically gets an extra one.
Your peacock. Your peacock.
So there is there's a mention of this here, and this is part of staying in harmony. Zalara mentions that not only have you fought spiders in the past, but I give you an unfair glimpse to the future that another is in store for you.
wonderful.
Some more spiders.
Or one
Another is
Another.
a specific wording. That's as far as she can see. Being
Okay.
dead and all, there's only so much she can tell you.
Limitations.
And now let's move to the present, the central column.
All right,
This
central
column
top.
represents the present and neutrality. It's a sum total of events of the past, yet also opens up to the infinite possibilities of the future.
All right, we have another key card with the cricket.
The cricket.
Jiminy.
So the present also represents a crossroads between order and entropy. I like the way they worded that, so I wanted to say it. Okay, so the cricket represents speed and quick passage, and Zalara encourages you to make a quick speed and quick passage to the queen to return the brooch.
Okay.
Yep.
Next we have the Rakshasha.
That's never good. First time I've seen one look like an alligator or a crocodile. They still have the hands backwards there.
Rocks. Shas.
Okay, so
Form.
with
They are.
that,
Yeah.
it is the reading. Zalara tells you the Rakshasha symbolizes here control. There's something in vying for control over Korvosa, and yeah, I do not yet know what it is.
Next we have the Teamster.
The Teamster. You just uncovered Jimmy Hoffa.
We win the game. Harada's going to be
It's
pissed.
an orc being ridden by a gnome that's flailing him.
who
with-
Checks and giggles.
Who run Bartertown? Master Blaster runs Bartertown. No. All right. Let's see. So the Teamster is Gosh, I'm trying to figure out how to interpret this one. The interpretation is driving external pressure.
The town's on fire.
Yeah.
Or whoever's
let's see.
in control, maybe.
Future unclear.
Present unclear.
Yeah, it is. And let's move to the future column.
Future column.
Ask again
Another
later.
key with the peacock.
That's me. I get 2.
The column represents chaos, represented by chaos. The future is not set, and anything is possible. And what was it again? Sorry, peacock?
The peacock.
Oh, right.
I swear to you, I shuffled this.
You done fine.
Shuffled
Well, actually,
real
Mickie
good.
shuffled it before you shuffled
Exactly.
it. So
He unshuffled it.
double shuffled. Yes. So she says, as part of your future, you must surely watch Verik, V-E-R-I-K. You must surely watch him, for as the peacock changes his plumage, yet he may as well.
Who is Varric? Do we know that name at all?
Not yet. The Rabbit Prince, JJ is mentioning the next one.
We're getting all keys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I swear to you, I shuffled this. You guys all saw me shuffle this. There's magic in this here deck.
Yeah. So who had that one?
I did.
You did, okay. And she meant she looks at Ashley directly and says, "This bodes well for you. Be fleet of foot in combat.
Always.
Be extra fleet of foot." Here's another hero point because you got the card.
All right, and then earwax.
The
Seriously?
waxworks. The waxwork.
Okay, it matters because it's alphabetical. E is well before W. The waxworks represents hopelessness. Let's see.
That's awful.
Someday in the future, you may face a cruel necromancer. Be on the lookout for him.
So we all drew our cards except for Crispin.
Snap. So when it comes to that, now we are in calculating the hero points. How many of the 9 cards are of the suit associated? How many are keys?
5.
All right, so everyone gets that. You also got 1 during the choosing. So each person should have 2 at that. 6 at that point. And then, if the spread has your card in it, you get another.
So
7.
Greg, Ashley, and Veritana should have 7.
Okay.
And Crispin has 6.
Now for the
Just like I'm a half of a man.
you get a half of a point. The for the rest of Edge of Anarchy, these points can be used to re-roll anything based on dexterity, or to give you each point can be in addition to your armor class for a combat.
For a combat. Holy moly.
It lasts for 1 encounter, as they word it.
That's
But
cool.
for us, it will be a combat, essentially, start to finish. And then the last one is you can increase your base speed by 10 feet. What I would use that for is, say you can't reach someone and you really want to.
All right.
You just use the point, because we're not counting squares in this game.
Right.
Okay? So during that, and then in addition, I gave you guys page numbers, except for you, Kurt, which was the City in Turmoil.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all City in Turmoil events. Everyone else is a specific event. And what that means, the number I gave you, the page number I gave you, you will get a +2 to dexterity checks and a +1 to armor class during that thing. So when I get to page whatever it was,
47 and 50.
40,
43 and
47,
57.
right, whatever. When we're in that combat, when we start it, and I talk about it, you will get a bonus at that time. And this is because of the fortune that was given to you.
I missed
The
the first
heroine.
usage of the hero point. So it could be used as an additional point of AC for each combat.
Or
Yeah.
to
No,
reroll
for
the
a
The
combat.
first thing
For
is to
a combat.
re-roll any dexterity-based thing. So any skill you have that uses dexterity, or a dexterity check, or a dexterity save, any dexterity-based thing, you can use a point to re-roll. You have to choose this. You have to keep the second roll, the new result,
Or additional point of AC for a combat.
for each point you spend. So with you guys having 6 or 7 points,
Yeah, you could dump a couple.
you could
We
pretty
could be
much not get hit
untouchable.
for one combat, right?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Or we can reach
The last
something
one,
out of
10
reach.
feet.
Each point will let you
10
go
feet,
reach
yeah.
something. It is literally, or technically it's 10 feet, but the way we'll use it, because we do Theater of the Mind, is if I say the guy's out of reach, you could spend a point and he's in reach. And that's that.
Cool.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Now let me get back to the section we're at. In the meantime, you guys, I don't know if you, in character for a minute, if you wouldn't mind, talk about that reading as Zalara disappears and what that means to you guys.
So
Wondering who this
Veritana, do you
Varric is.
think she remembers when she comes? Like, is it like a snapshot of her each time, or is it like she actually builds upon her memories every time she pops out?
I think it's an old it's like, kind of like an old parchment, right? As time passes, it wears away. I think it's a copy of her. I don't think anything new is added.
Okay.
Maybe
If
her
anything,
soul's
something
stuck
is
in the
taken
deck.
away.
Maybe she's, knows what's going on because
Because she
she's
said
still-
my name, and I haven't reintroduced myself to her, so she remembered from the last time at least.
She also summoned you guys by name, too.
That's true.
Right.
So
She knew who you were.
I'm
That's because
curious.
of the connection between Gaedren, probably.
Could
Especially
be.
you.
I like the speculation. That's why I wanted you guys to talk
Yeah.
about it while I look this stuff up.
I want to know who this Varric is.
And that was
Does you recall that name?
can we
Ash?
can
You're
we
from
do
town, right?
a history check on Naveric?
Yeah, he's from town, right?
On Varric?
Technically, yes. So if somebody wants to do that, I know he's got a page back here in the NPC, so
15.
give me a moment while I look that up.
Yeah, I'm not going to beat that.
That's a bestiary.
I rolled a 1.
Get it out of the way.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah.
Not only have I never heard of him, if he was in front of my face, I would know who he was.
What's a critical fail on a history check? You forget everything you've ever known for 5 minutes.
You lose your high school degree.
Because that was so useful, right?
Yeah. Wasn't even useful in high school.
Talk.
Talk amongst
Everybody.
yourselves.
Yes, make noise. You want me to
What does
look it
anyone
up,
know
so-
about the Queen? I'm not familiar with.
Oh crap! I'm
what's
gonna have to
going
look
on.
that up too. Son of a bitch.
So I will say, however, that the beef jerky that I have in front of me is advertised as gluten free.
I would hope so.
This amuses me.
It is not gluten free, however, because I am eating it.
Oh, it's gluttony, all right.
Okay.
So what do we want to do next?
So who rolled for Varric and what was the roll?
15.
15. As far as you remember, that name, Varric, and his last name is Van Kaskerson. Van Kaskerkin. Good gosh. I wish they didn't have long last names. Vancaskerkin.
I guessed that right.
Really?
Yeah.
Good gosh. Nicely done. He is the leader of a band of...
Leader of the band.
Call it brigands or bandits or something like that. He's a bad guy. From what you recall.
Depends which side of the fence you're on, I guess.
If that's the same guy, mind you. We'll see.
Van Kaskering.
Van Kaskerskin. Kirkin. Then.
One man's terrorist, and another
All right,
man's
so-
revolutionary.
Heck yeah.
We need to go. We need to ingratiate ourselves with the new queen, and I think we can do that with this brooch.
Agreed, but first we must clean ourselves. We look like,
We stink of fish oil
Vagabonds.
Fish oil.
and we stink of fish oil.
and mad profit.
I could use a nice hot bath.
I mean, could you just
prestidigitation
do
is
the
a cantrip.
prestidigitation thingy, and just clean us?
Maybe your
I also
sparkles
need
are
to.
cleany.
I also
Can
need
you
to
use your hands,
rest.
though, if you're going to clean this?
I also need to rest, and I need to visit.
Is that a somatic
library.
component? Or
Who goes to the library?
Wizards do.
People who read.
The library might be on fire
Who
right now.
reads?
Obviously not you.
print is dead. Everyone uses electricity.
I do
You got-
think resting would be a good idea. There's no rush. It's late. The queen probably doesn't want to see us today.
Yeah,
Anyways.
who's damaged?
Yeah, I imagine
Huh?
she's quite busy.
So if you guys want to do that, let's go ahead and take a long rest.
Yes.
Okay? So refresh the things that you get with a long rest.
Wait.
I can't remember what it is for hit points in 5th edition, but at first level, you should probably just get them all back. Okay, what do you get? Half of
A
your
long rest, you
total?
get all back.
You get
back-
all of it
Yeah,
regardless?
long
Okay.
rest. You do.
Good
It's
to
a
go.
short rest where you can spend hit dice, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right, let's do that. And then in the morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, you can head out. And what was it that you wanted to research, Veritana?
I want to research more into Zalara.
Okay. The fortune teller.
The fortune teller.
Yep.
Her history in the town to see if there's anything interesting there. I'd like to research more into the murderer, the dagger, to see if there's anything of interest in that path.
Wouldn't mind to see what's up with what's the Queen's thoughts on things, if there's any people been talking about her or whatnot.
Oh, so like rumors.
Yeah.
Hey, there's actually a rumor section. Holy crap.
Sweet.
Let me find that. While I'm looking for that, Mickie, I will tell you for Zalara. Zalara is just a well-known, well-respected fortune teller. She's been in the city her whole life. Really good at fortune telling, and that, aside from being that and very charismatic, that's what she was good at. That's what she was known for.
Nothing else I need to worry about then.
No, people really liked her, and it was her skill in doing that apparently got her bound to her deck. She got intertwined. Her magics and her abilities got her bound to that harrow deck.
I imagine at some point, like she did a harrowing for a noble, and they were like, "Yeah, you're really good at this. Here, have this really nice deck."
It could be. Where the heck was the rumor thing? Damn it.
Well, we know her deck was an heirloom that had been in the family for generations.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Because
right there.
it was
Rumors.
mentioned. But probably at some point in the past, it was someone in the family had done that.
Okay, Chris. Mm-hmm. As far as what you would find for rumors in Chapter 1, so you're specifically looking for the Queen, right?
Yeah.
What do we know about her generally?
I'm trying. There are rumors in here. Normally, the way they do it is you roll a d20 and you get a rumor.
Right.
But the way this works, you're looking for the Queen specifically. So I'm going to find at least one that goes along with it. Okay, so there is a rumor that is, even after she was wed to the king continued to pursue idle meetings with attractive artists, performers, and debutantes who also visited the castle. So the queen was jealous of his meetings.
Dalliances?
The king
Specifically,
had a
that's the word they
wandering
used. I chose not to use that one.
What, dalliances?
Dalliance is there, yes.
like it.
I try to paraphrase where I can without necessarily reading word for word. But it is idle dalliances with attractive artists, performers, and debutantes.
eye. The king had a wandering eye.
That's what it says.
It's a rumor.
Yeah, I think he
Is
grabbed my ass
specifically.
once.
And I will tell you, they are specifically rumors. There are some that are true, some that are false, and some that say mostly true and mostly false, and they give descriptions of them.
So essentially you have a
Yeah.
Snopes there.
I do, really, because it will tell me what is and isn't.
Is that the only Queen-related rumor?
That's the only one that matters at this time.
Okay.
By reading through these specific rumor things, nah, not really.
Right.
Who was did the dagger? Who's going to look up the dagger? Okay. So you actually are able to talk about the dagger with the librarian. Librarian tells you they never caught the key lock killer. He just vanished after killing 9 people in their own locked homes back in 4797. Dates don't matter to us. They say that 7 of the 9 had ties to nobles who also opposed the king at the time. And the key lock killer was on the payroll of those who would go against the monarchy. And they think that the key lock killer was one of them, one of the high-ranking people on those. And they think the librarian says it's all a conspiracy, definitely.
Very tinfoil hat stuff.
Okay. All right. Like, do we need to pull out tinfoil hats?
Do you? Tin and foil.
The king is the
together.
key lock killer.
Anything else?
Was.
Is that what we were
Right.
looking at so far? Does that
And then
cover
the brooch.
research?
Did you wanted to look into the brooch too, or no?
Yeah, let's look into the roach.
right near the library. So the librarian points you to a jewelry stop or shop right near the library.
It's one of those kiosks in the middle of the mall.
Exactly.
Stop and rob.
It's right next to the Starbucks, right in the middle of the library.
They also sell those travel pillows.
It is a Barnes and Noble being the Noble people, you see. And
But it's a barn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. It's a barn that has Noble books.
Yeah.
The jeweler there tells you, oh, yes, that is definitely the Queen's brooch, and you should return it because there's been a word put out to all the jewelry stores. If anyone tries to come in to pawn it, they have a 1,200 gold reward for returning it to the Queen.
Well, that's not yours, so we're going to take it. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Anything else there?
What other items do we have of interest?
I think, as per the harrowing,
I would tell you none others, Chris.
Yeah, and Varric, we just got a last name and brigand leader. That's all we got.
Of what? I'm sorry.
Varric is a brigand leader. That's all we got, and that's true though. It's not like he's.
I don't know. Maybe
I was not even sure.
that's what you remember.
Gotcha.
He's a
I didn't know
leader
if
of an unsavory group.
I don't know
of
if there's
folks.
any rumors about him, like, or what his band of brigands are up to
Crap.
in this
I
region.
should actually put a thing on the rumor page.
Yeah.
Would you like a flag?
Please, Mickey.
what color?
Like, if he has a name
It's
for his
rumors. Yeah, that's a good color for rumors, Mickey. Kind of a dark teal or whatever you call that.
I tell you what.
I teal you. I get it.
What do you say?
I teal you what?
We chose teal
I
for rumors.
teal you.
So if there's anything, like if he has a name for his band of whatevers, let's see what they're up to.
Let me just see for quickly if there is a rumor specifically
or any if
about
there's
him.
if there's any rumors about banditry or brigands, even if it's not his name.
Answer B, no. No specific rumors about him.
We ain't found shit.
Well, clearly what you remember isn't common knowledge.
All right then.
How's that?
We
That
forgot
works
to
out.
comb the deserts. When do we get to level up?
I'd say very soon. What I would like to see, there's one more thing to go do before leveling up.
I say we go to the queen.
So yeah, let's go visit the queen then, because that seems to me the one more thing to go to do.
Well, it's not the thing to do to level up, but it is the thing to do to get you to the thing to do.
yeah.
How about that?
That works
It's
out.
a chain of things to do.
All right, we're all cleaned up, all rested.
All right.
I've got my new clothes on. Well,
So
clean clothes.
The
now.
next day after you guys wake up, you go about the research. Most of the city has
wanna
been
make
under control.
one thing. So you guys saw Ashley in one thing. He now has a completely different persona. I'm harnessing my charlatan background, so I have a fake ID. I am now a noble.
Nice.
We still call you Ashley.
I mean, you can still call me what you want, but now I'm Morgan
Do
Ashley.
you have a name tag on that says I am a noble?
I am now Morgan.
Call me what you want.
I switched the names. Morgan Ashley.
what you want, but
Hey, what you want? Come here.
So Castle Korvosa. Now we don't have the
negative.
printed player guide thing. Where the heck did that end?
Oh, I have one.
I have it at home actually.
Oh, you brought it. Okay.
I have one right here.
Oh, okay.
I'm very
Well, the
prepared.
reason I say it is there was a map of the city, and the only reason
It's hard to read though.
The only reason to make a point of that was so you guys could have a reference. But essentially, you're going to Castle Korvosa. Castle Korvosa, its long shadow looms over the city. It's a tall castle. It's like a pyramid, and it can be approached from all four sides. There are ramps and stairways allowing access up to the pyramids. When you guys approach, because the city, under siege is the wrong word, because the city was in chaos all of yesterday and last night, the castle is locked up tight, and there's lots of guards around with their swords and crossbows at the ready.
Heavy guard.
As you approach, one of the guards says, state your business here at the castle.
Good day, sir.
The queen.
We have discovered something that would be of interest to the queen. You may have heard of us. We are the... What are we calling ourselves? Are we calling ourselves anything? We are the adventurers that have helped the city guards solve
the
powerful
many
big guns.
crimes.
Crispin and the chicken wings.
Yeah. Okay. So, is it reasonable to
Chris, you're
say that when we handed over the ledger to the police department that they would have given us a letter of commendation or recommendation?
Not during that chaos, but if you told them, keep us in mind and gave them a name or something, then you could relay that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's piggyback off of that. There you go.
So yeah, we are the powerful peacocks, and we're PPP for short. And we have recovered this, and I flash out the brooch.
So when you do that, that guard turns and he's talking to the others, and they keep glancing over at you guys and just muttering amongst themselves for a few moments. And then
I ready my shield.
one of the guards nods at you to indicate that you can head up the stairs to the courtyard. You must leave your weapons with the guards.
All right.
Yes? All agreed?
All agreed.
Yeah, I don't have anything I can really hide.
All right.
I can't hide mine. It's a good thing we've got a wizard with
They
us.
say no weapons are allowed in the Queen's company.
I will do the little noble hand gesture to acknowledge.
That finger? Don't put up that finger. The other finger.
The other finger. You use more than one finger. What?
Shocker.
A group of heavily armored and armed guards does escort you up to the castle, and there is a mention about referring to the map if you want to see it. But as you reach to the top of the pyramid and the wide stairs curling up to the castle's third floor, that's where the Crimson Throne awaits. A stern-looking woman dressed in magnificent full-plate armor steps forward and says, "Greetings. They tell me you have something that belongs to the Queen. Is this correct?"
I believe this is it.
And you show her the brooch.
I do.
She smiles and steps aside, holding out a hand to welcome you to the castle. And then she nods to the guards and says, "You may return to your posts. These heroes pose no threat to the Queen." Then she leads you up to the throne, and as you round the corner, she announces your arrival. She would have asked you your names, because I missed that section. She announces your arrival by name. So Morgan?
Morgan, yes.
Okay. So others, you're just using your regular name. Okay, no one has their fake ID. Queen Eliosa sits upon the Crimson Throne. She is a vision of beauty, despite the black mourning dress and veil she's wearing in honor of her husband's death. She has a small silver coffer on her lap, and the throne room itself is an open area with a vaulted ceiling, stained glass windows. The windows are of past kings around the throne room. And there are crimson tapestries hanging alongside of the windows, and there are also past queens in the stained glass windows as well. Let's see. There's also an immense fireplace that has additional light to the hall, and a silk carpet that leads up to the throne itself. The woman who told you when you exchanged names, she told you her name is Sabina.
Sabina?
Sabina. She takes the brooch from you and hands it to the Queen with a flourish, and then takes up position at the throne to the left side of the Queen. And the Queen addresses you. She says, "Why, thank you. The brooch was stolen from me some time ago. I had not expected to see it again, truth be told. And yet, here on my darkest day, you come before me with this kindness. The return of this brooch is much more than an honorable deed. It is inspiration. It is hope. I love Korvosa as my husband did before me. His death has shocked the city as it has me, but I will not see his legacy destroyed in death, and I shall not see my own city torn apart. All Korvosa stands at the precipice of a disaster wrought by her citizens. These riots cannot continue. You have already done my heart a great service in returning this precious heirloom to me on this dark day, and you shall be rewarded. Yet perhaps you can serve your city more. The Korvosan Guard is stretched thin, and it could certainly use the aid of heroes such as you. If you so choose, I shall have Sabina see to it that you have an escort of guards when you leave here. They can see to your safe journey to Citadel Volshynek. Volshynek. That place.
The V
She
place.
knows how to say it. I shall send word ahead of you to Field Marshal Cressida Croft to let her know you are on the way. Now, I need to retire to my chambers. My grief has drained me. Again, I thank you for the kindness you have shown me, and I hope your days of serving the crown are only just beginning. With that, she turns, and the flourish of her dress spins around her as she walks away.
Okay.
Let's see.
Are there any heirs to the throne? She doesn't have any kids or.
And Sabina will escort you back out of the castle if you wish.
So
and
while
offer you
we're
the
walking,
escort. Yeah.
Morgan will be, quote unquote, getting his back on with Sabina because
Is he chatting up Sabina?
he is chatting up Sabina.
Okay.
Given her demeanor, he assumes that she is lacking for attention.
Huh.
What?
And is willing to provide for her if she so chooses.
You're going to hit on the Queen's Guard.
I am.
Maybe she's into
Okay.
the queen.
I guess the last thing that I missed, before she walked away, she handed the silver chest to Sabina, who then hands it over to you while you're macking on her.
Yeah.
Is that the 1,200 gold?
Uh,
Or
Well, yeah, I didn't even think about that. It is. They word it different here. There's a small silver chest with 12 gold ingots imprinted with the royal seal of Korvosa, each worth 100.
So,
So it is the
Citadel,
1200,
Citadel Volshinik is...
So with Sabina, she's pleasant but standoffish towards you.
That's fine. Playing hard to get. It's all good.
It is. It is exactly what she's doing. 'Cause
I
it
mean, would
says
you
right
would you
here,
like a diplomacy
if the rogue
roll?
of the group tries to come onto her, she is standoffish.
They actually wrote it in there.
Tell me what you're trying to get out of her, and then I'll tell you if it requires a roll. Because if you're just trying to be nice and endear yourself
no,
to her, then there's
I am
nothing.
trying to ingratiate myself. Like,
Okay.
I'll be like, your honor is impeccable. The fact that you didn't try to, none of your guards tried to take this brooch from us. You actually let us receive the accolades that were due upon us. Like, that is remarkable. It shows such great honor.
I'm trying to get into her breastplate.
Pretty much.
So are you trying to turn her from neutral to friendly? Is that the
Pretty
kind of
much.
thing? So yeah, then let's do that as diplomacy. Is
Yeah.
diplomacy 5th edition? I'm so backwards here because
Diplomacy
there's so many
is
things listed.
It's persuasion. There is no
Yeah.
diplomacy,
and that's what I
anymore,
mean. When I tell you a specific thing, whatever the 5th edition equivalent is, let's make sure we know what it is before we roll.
but-
In this case, in Pathfinder, they would be asking for a diplomacy check. There's no diplomacy, so let's go with persuasion. Kurt,
Niner.
that was fun. Kurt just wiped the microphone for us.
15.
A 15? You don't really get her attention. She clearly thinks that you're someone of importance to yourself, but she doesn't quite get it yet.
Okay.
Almost, but maybe not really. So, and she as I mentioned, she offers for an escort to the Citadel if you guys want one, just as the Queen had mentioned.
Have
The
we
city
figured
is
out
mostly
where that
settled
is?
down. No.
The Citadel? Is it like an old Korvosa? Is it not in Korvosa at all?
I can. Let's see. Well, before we go there, let me just mention you guys got the monetary reward, the 1,200 gold. Kurt, in addition to that, you get 800 experience for meeting the Queen and returning her recovered brooch. So add 800 onto your list there. JD, I'm looking just to see for kicks.
Because I'm looking on the map to see if it's labeled anywhere.
Citadel Volshinek is located in Midland, overlooking Jaguar Harbor. So if you can find Midland or Jaguar Harbor, it's in that area. It
Kinda
doesn't
hard to
actually
read.
tell me exact spots on the map.
Is it over here?
That's Jaguar River.
I would say Midland. I'm looking towards the middle of the map, which I think Mickie did right at the beginning. Right towards, if it's called Midland, doesn't that make sense? It would be in the middle. But as far as the map goes, not positive.
There's Jaguar Isle. Merciless
So we
Cliffs.
don't know how far
I'm going
it
to put
is.
it into the Pathfinder wiki.
There you go, Kurt.
Here's Jaguar Street.
Why are we going to the Citadel? What's up? I didn't catch that
She's
part.
Kurt,
Is there
or not
circle?
Kurt. Chris, is your mic on?
I thought so.
All right, I hear
Yeah,
you.
it
It's just
feels
not
real
that
low,
loud.
yeah.
I see Bolshevik Bolshevik Street.
Well, the
So-
Citadel might be there then.
It's just
Somewhere
to the
nearby.
right of the leftmost bridge.
Just to the right of the Lesbos. You can find it northeast of the
H1?
southwest center.
Is it H1?
Hang on.
What?
Huh?
I am looking. Headquarters of the Korvosian Guard can be found at the end of a short spit of land sticking out from the Midland District into the Jaguar River.
Sticking out.
So there.
There.
M5.
M5?
I think that's probably right. I don't have a map showing it.
I don't have it handy either. It might be in
But that
that
looks correct.
thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So in the rest of that player's guide, it might actually be in there. If that's labeled,
Yes.
then it's probably in the player's guide.
I shall look.
All right. All right. So in this case, let's. What do we have for time? All right. I think this will get us towards the next spot here. So you take the escort there.
Sure.
Yeah. So as long as you do that, you arrive without trouble. Nothing amiss in the streets will stop you as you are escorted.
Larry's not
there.
trying to stop us again?
Nah. I don't, who knows what happened when he came to consciousness. Could be pretty funny. So almost as you're traveling there, you would maybe chat with the guards during the walk, but almost all of the city guards are out in the streets still trying to contain things that are going on. So the Citadel is currently operating on a skeleton crew. At the entrance, there are two guards who are obviously nervous just because of all the mess in the city. They're standing at the gates, and as the Queen promised, you are expected, and the guards let you in. The escort just goes back to the castle, and you are led to the central keep, where a harried and tired-looking woman rises from her desk to greet you. She says, I am Cressida Croft. I believe the Queen sent you. And she looks like she hasn't slept for at least a couple of days, probably since right before the king died. She says, yes, you are the one sent by... She has a long paragraph here. Bear with me. You are the one sent by Queen Iliosa. Greetings. My name is Cressida, and heroes of your caliber are exactly what Korvosa needs now. You've been on the streets. You know better than me how bad things are out there. It's breaking my heart to see Korvosa tear itself apart like this. Every little bit of aid we can get from upstanding citizens like you helps. If you're willing, I'd like very much to retain your services as agents of the Guard. You will, of course, be well compensated for your services. Yes? Hello?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it.
All right. I can't go further until...
I mean, we've got a lot of money from. I don't know.
Does the Queen have any suitors?
Sounds like hard work.
We're kind of done with this adventure.
Might just go get a hot bath and a massage.
We could do that.
I'm curious.
I might
enough
go
to stick
drinking with
around.
Larry. That guy seems to know what's going on. No, okay.
Yeah, he's definitely had a few insanity drinks.
No, does the Queen have? Do they have any children?
No.
Okay.
That's one of the things, and this was, can't remember if it's at the beginning of the player's guide, but it's in there somewhere, about the curse itself is that nobody who has
No one's-
occupied the
that's
throne
right,
lives to
it's-
old age.
that's right, yeah.
Everybody dies off.
I do remember that. Okay.
Yeah. And at this point, no, there are no children. Okay. So it's a rough
Maybe I can
thing.
help her out with that.
The Queen is the latest to occupy the Crimson Throne, and, well, chances are she's going to die before she's old as well.
Oh, no.
We'll see how it goes.
Keyhole killer. What?
So it says, assuming the PCs agree to hear her out, she continues. Korvosa's got enough troubles as it is, with my own guards losing their way. It's without my own guards losing their way. Many have deserted their posts, more concerned about friends and family than the city. I can understand this, yet not all of the deserters have family. Some are simply using the riots as an excuse for personal gain. One such man is Varric van Kaskerkin. Worse than a lone deserter, he's convinced a small group of fellow guards that the Queen Iliosa is going to ruin the city. Whether she does or doesn't isn't the point. Right now, we've got a city-wide crisis on our hands, and I need all of my guards working with me to see us through. A deserter is worse than a lost resource. It's an infection. I can't afford to pull any of my other patrols off duty to deal with Varric And I'd rather not expose any of them to him anyway, since I don't want him to infect more guards with his talk of secession. Nor do I want some overly patriotic guard killing him outright. I need impartial, skilled talent. Talent like you.
We'll surgically remove him for you.
Him and his followers have holed up in an abandoned butcher shop. I can't read today, for goodness sake. Abandoned butcher shop up in Northgate, a place once called All the World's Meat. I need you there.
All the world's meat.
Try to
That's what
avoid
she said.
killing any of the deserters if you can, but if you must, they brought it upon themselves when they threw in their lot with Van Kaskerken. What a horrible... Anyway.
How loyal are
Let's just call him Varric V.
How loyal are his men to him?
They are very loyal to him. Yes. From what we know.
Well, we can't guarantee their safety.
If you could capture him alive and return him to me for interrogation, that would be great. Otherwise, I'll accept his body as well.
Sounds good.
Finally, see if you can find out why he deserted. If there's more to it than simple personal politics, I need to know immediately. Bring me Varric alive, and there's a 500 gold. There's a 500 gold in it for you. There's 500 gold in it. They actually have the letter A. Anyway, dead is only worth half that.
All right.
250?
250.
About 250.
Yes. And now, she also offers you a spot in the Citadel barracks if you need to rest, to stay the night. And while you're in the service of the guard, you can return to the Citadel at any time for rest or supplies. Presuming you agree to be in the service of the guard.
Sounds like a sweet deal.
As long as we can leave at any time.
Yeah.
I am.
We are contracted, not...
We are fully rested and ready to
We got
go.
letters of marque
Okay.
for this dude.
And where did you say Varric? We think Varric is holed up in the meat butcher shop.
Yeah, North
All the
Gate.
world's meat in the up in the
Northgate.
Northgate.
It is. Yes, this is the name of the place. All the world's meat. I have a little map printed here.
All right, let's head there.
Yeah.
Let me find the right page here.
All the world's meat butcher shop.
Oh, that's too much. I got to find 2 pages here because this is the way it works. All right. So we are actually going to be moving on to part 3 of the first chapter.
What page are we on?
We're on page 44.
All right, that's important.
Yeah.
Getting closer.
However, we will be on page 47 during the place of... While we're in the building. 47 is in the building.
During the meat shop.
Yes.
I'll meet you guys there.
I see what you did there.
I'm going to make sure if we've got a little
get it?
time here before we
Yep,
go out,
you do.
I'm gonna sharpen up my axe blade and make sure it's ready to slice flesh
Yep.
if need be.
The other thing is I'm just making sure of the whole experience piece here. This is, I think, the last one we're going to do before we level up. I just want to make sure that this is appropriate. There's another spot specifically that says you want to be level 3 or 4 before you continue. This isn't that spot. This will be more difficult than the first one, but not as bad as the next one. Okay. So as you reach the building, all the world's meat. As far as I remember, there was nothing secret on here, so I'll let you guys have that map as a reference while I use the other one I had. That other paper I put out there earlier, where did that end up? There's another smaller map.
Yeah, it's got to be folded in half someplace, right?
Yeah.
Yep, the one that was folded in half.
I don't have it, but
With the one with
I
the
remember
fishery?
him.
That one just has a smaller version of the same thing on it so that I have my own reference while I flip.
Did we
through the
move it when
pages.
we were taking things off the table for the
Might
Herod?
have somewhere. Anyway, in the meantime, as you approach, and this is B1 on that map, so that's the side you're approaching from. A sign bearing the image of a fat, smiling cow hangs above the entrance to this shop. And you can see inside there's a long counter running over half the room's width, beyond which a door stands ajar. A low bench sits against the east wall, while to the north a marble-top table displays cuts of meat before a wide, grimy window. A few flies circle in the air above the meat.
Gross.
Yeah.
Didn't say sanitary meat. It said all the world's meat.
All of it.
Even flies.
Okay. So that's where you guys are now.
All right, so this is it seems like it's mostly abandoned building.
Well, that's the thing. It's not abandoned. There's people in it. So that room, the room has meat in it. So
Does it look like it's
clearly
open for like business with a butcher and all that, or is it?
Yes.
Okay.
So the meat is on display in the window. And I tell you what, you were looking for rumors and stuff before. There's actually a spot here. While you're walking there, maybe a couple other guards or whatever give you a little bit of information. This is only a DC 10 thing, so you're just going to get the information.
Right.
The Varrick's men have taken to calling themselves the Cowhammer Boys.
Cowhammer?
Yeah. And that their program of free meat during this time of unrest, they've been putting meat out in the front to get locals to just come by and take the meat. It's keeping many families from going hungry.
They're buying favor.
Yeah. Furthermore, you hear that the Cowhammer Boys hire out as mercenaries. If one wishes to hire them in this manner, one must simply ask about the Knight's special cuts. Yeah. So and also the previous owner of all the world's meat was arrested for tax evasion and soon after died in prison. The shop remained in escrow with the government for nearly a year until Varrick moved in. And he and his gang have been giving out free meat, yes, probably to get favor from the locals.
Could I get a description of the outside of the building as we kind of start to case it a little bit?
Let me see if they have anything better than just that there's a smiling cow hanging outside.
Because it looks over to the side, it's like almost like a palisade.
You're talking about B6?
B6, yeah.
I think that's probably that's the cattle pen.
Yeah.
It's open to the air and stinking of manure. Let's see.
Because my instinct is definitely not to enter the front door.
I think that's right.
Mickie, could you roll a D6 and a D4, please?
I can.
You can. Because I know you hadn't taken dice out yet, so I figured you might as well roll. And tell me what's on the 6?
A 5.
So there are 2 cows, and how many? What's it on the D4?
A 4.
4. 2 pigs in the pen. So that's what's there.
Why don't we ask what the night special is and hire these guys into a trap?
It's a trap.
Yeah, we'll see why not.
I don't know.
But aside from that, JJ, the windows are windows. It doesn't look like there are any windows, really, on the first level,
showcase,
except for the showcase where the beef is, or the meat, because it's going to be beef and pork, apparently, with cows and pig. Aside from that, there is an upstairs, a small upstairs, apparently, because we can see B7 and B8. So there's apparently a small upstairs, although it may be...
It's not B for basement, is it?
Well, B is this whole place, is B.
Ah.
No, it's definitely not your stairs on the map.
And since there are windows there, it's probably not the basement. So that's probably upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a small upstairs and the full downstairs.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll in my noble attire, I will enter, B1 and, good day, sir. I understand that this is the place where you can get some special cuts of meat.
All right. So there are 4 guys inside there. There are 2 who are apparently guards because they're standing at attention. There's a tall man with bushy eyebrows and a guy who's just standing there wheezing while he's breathing. That is wearing some very tight chainmail. Let's see. So you're just asking, did you ask the specific phrase?
Yeah, I want the knife.
I did.
Okay, if you're going to ask for the specific phrase. The guy who,
Yes, for the
they're
hot
both
BP
kind of
injection.
scoffing while you walk in. And they, the shorter one, the wheezy guy in the ill-fitting chainmail, nods to the other guy who closes the front door. And then they say, all right, hand over the 50 gold piece per person.
Say what?
Okay.
If you're going to hire them as mercenaries,
Yeah.
they've got a price, and they get right to it.
So I explained that
That'd be
there's
200 gold if you want to hire us.
there's an Old Fishery.
Money first.
Okay, so I'll pull out 200 gold.
And the tall guy's just standing there with a big ham fist waiting for you to hand over the money.
So I'll pull out 200 gold. I think this is a 4-person job.
Okay.
And there's an Old Fishery up in the docks, and there's a few bodies that I want to make sure got completely taken care of.
All right. When?
As soon as possible. Last I saw, it was on fire. I just want to make sure there's nothing that can get traced back, if you know what I mean.
Okay, you can leave now.
Gotcha.
Rude.
So we'll leave.
And the guy opens the door.
And
to let you
when we
back
see
out.
the 4 people leave to go do it, in other words, we've thinned their numbers a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we will try to make our entrance.
Why don't we have a message sent to the guardsmen to go get those guys when they show up at the fishery?
Cressida,
Cressida.
the boss. Now I can't remember what her position was, but Cressida is the boss.
You want to cut his purse on the way by so we can get our 200 gold back?
That's not my thing. It's his.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
The other guy, the noble rogue.
Sorry, I was confusing my characters.
So while you guys watch for the other ones to leave, we can wrap up this episode of Adventure from the Shed. And we can all say...
Bye, everyone.
The preceding podcast was brought to you by One Joe Young. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.